Hello, David Zaritsky for the Bond Experience. Welcome back. Well, spring has sprung, so it's about that time of the year where I want to talk about Bond brands, but I want to do it in relation to the weather and the environment because that's kind of what Bond does. He chooses his clothing, his kit, he puts it into his luggage akin to the environment, the geography, the weather he's going to be a part of. So as we go from cool weather to a little bit warmer and then into the full-blown summer, there's some amazing transitional pieces, as I'll call them, from our favorite Bond brands that we should really talk about. And I've chosen some of my favorite ones, curated them with the brands, and I'm bringing them to you. And we are going to just dissect these. We're going to get forensic. And it's already begun, and you don't even know it. You see, I'm wearing this incredible blue long sleeve polo. It is a long staple cotton, incredibly soft, from our friends of Connolly. And Connolly, as you well know, is a Bond brand that has brought to you quite a few things, more specifically from No Time to Die, but they are a style, fashion, luggage accessory brand that goes way back. They even did the leather for DB5s. Yeah, their range is pretty amazing. But we decided to take a look at some of their spring transitional pieces. Now this is long sleeve, it's not a polo like you're going to get in the summer because you still need a little bit of arm protection. This is James Bond here, but it's blue. Oh, it's so blue. I don't even know if you can appreciate how blue this is. It's not an incredibly deep blue. It's sort of a mid-line blue. It's certainly not midnight blue, but I love this. Stupid mic is breaking it up, but I love this sort of Johnny polo. Some people call it an Italian V. I call it the Johnny neck because it has that neck, just like you saw in Spectre with that. But look at the kind of slightly oversized collar. I didn't know this until I got it on, but it looks very Côte d'Azur. You know, this is almost like a French blue. And by the way, the fit on this is great. Now, I've been doing my hashtag Bond Fitness Challenge, and so now I'm about a 41 up here. I'm a 31 here, so I did lose that 32. But you can see, let me get against here. You can see how well this fits. David, stand up straight. Be proud. And I paired it with these stone-colored chinos to show you the contrast of this blue. You've got the wonderful color up close here. You've got the banded hems. And by the way, this does have a banding on the bottom. You know, if you followed my channel at all, that I do like those bandings. I think, number one, it's very flattering for all different types of, I'll call it inflammation. How about that? I won't even call it, you know, gut. If you have a little inflammation down there, or if you maybe had an extra donut or two, the banding is extremely flattering. It gives, it flows, and this doesn't look like it's shrink wrap on me. Now, we got to talk about sizing, because what if you said, David, I like it. I got your size. How's it going to fit on me? This is a size 48. Okay, this is a size 48. So for US, that's European sizes. For US sizes, that'd be like, you know, 38 to 40, a little bit closer to 40. So you can kind of get an idea. By the way, high armholes, they fit your arms great, extremely flattering, but I'm loving the blue. Guess what? Connolly and I also curated another piece. Check this out. Now, probably some of you are saying, hold on a second, David, it's, you know, we're getting away from winter and stuff. Is that a brown? Well, it's somewhere in the middle between sort of a mustard and a brown. This is their Cashmere Polo. So it's a different fabric altogether. That one was cotton. This one's cashmere. You can see it has very similar, I'll call it attributes. All right. It's got this nice size collar. It's got the open Johnny collar like you saw before. It's got the banding here and the banding on the waist. But that's kind of where the similarities stop, because you can see, because it's cashmere, it's got a very different fit. It has, I will say it, a more relaxed fit. And this is also a size 48. So it's important for you as a consumer. These are investments. These are things that are going to last you. They should be heritage pieces for you. They're from fine luxury brands. So you want to get the right size. So I do like the size 48. I wouldn't have gotten any smaller, even though this has a nice amount of room, because cashmere should fit like that. Cashmere should not look like it was spray tanned onto you. Part of you is saying, but the browns with spring, shouldn't it be like pops of color and this and that? Stop being so traditional, all right? Think like Bond would. And this, paired with these light colored chinos, to me looks perfect, because you're staying with these lighter elements, these sort of off beige stone kind of browns. That's a theme. And I know what you're saying. You're like, David, what happened? You're really getting into the whole style thing. You're talking about hand, and you're talking about, these Pantone colors of beige. Trust me when I say this, because this is a tough thing to do. And we do need to talk about this if we are just having a conversation with the two of us. My skin tone, as you could tell, is a little red, it's a little pink, and it's very pale. I have no tan. I look like the underbelly of a fish. So you've got to be careful with my skin tone to wear these types of colors. But when you have this type of a brown or a dark beige, if you would, this kind of like straw, it does actually look flattering. It kind of connects, it brings out the color in my skin. And then when you pair it with something light below, you really kind of match them to pieces. And it's a very fresh, light look. This is, and I'm telling you, there was one criteria that I did with all of these. It had to look like I could see Bond wearing it in a film. I absolutely could see the next Bond, the past Bonds wearing this in a film, walking around. Again, I'm thinking a nice area of Europe right now, maybe not so much Pennsylvania. Why not though? Why not? There is no restriction from a geography standpoint. But that being said, we've got more things to show you. I think it's fair to say that Quantum of Solace ruined us all in the best way, because we all got addicted to shawl collar cardigans. No longer were they relegated to Mr. Rogers and old grandpas and rickety people. No, this was a fashion style item that I would say every brand picked up, but it's hard to think that anybody does it quite better than NPeal. Yes, this is an NPeal cardigan in a Prussian blue. Check this out. Again, not a navy blue, it's kind of a mid blue, but it's a Prussian blue. But the fabric is not what you would think. Now as soon as I say NPeal cashmere, you think cashmere. This is actually made of a cotton 70% and, wait for it, silk. I know, crazy. But what that does is it makes the touch of this so luxurious and so amazing. Now this, you can see the way it's fitting on me right now. This is a size small. Fits me perfectly in the shoulders. It fits me perfectly my back, my waist. It's got these great pockets to kind of put your hands in and relax. This is, and I have worn this. In fact, I wore this 2 nights ago with Danielle. We went out to a great fish restaurant. Why am I giving you all these details? I'm trying to paint a story, just relax. And this was just so cozy and comfortable. I was just able to, again, put my hands in my pocket, just sit down and relax. And yes, when you have something that feels like this, you tend to touch it. Yeah, you could touch it. You could touch it if you want. And by the way, for this look right now, I paired it, kept those stone chinos on, and I paired it with a very simple V-neck, and that's it. Like, I want this to do the talking. And if this doesn't say Bond, if a blue shawl collar cardigan doesn't say Bond, where it looks fitted on you and you can feel good about it and comfortable with it, I don't know what is. This to me it's not an avant-garde piece. This is something that's very traditional. You can grow old in this, or if you're 27 or 25 years old, you could hearken back to this. The way it fits is very traditional style. So it's not, as I say, fashion. It is style. And there's something very comfortable about when style is just something that you can gravitate to. And you could pair this with anything. This could go with jeans or chinos. You could dress this up with a collared shirt. You don't have to do it like I did it. I did it kind of that whole Benjamin Button type look, but this is how I could see Bond wearing this on a boat somewhere as he's throwing Vesper's things into the water. Conjures up all types of thoughts, but that's not all from NPeal. Okay, this is going to blow you away. So you are aware, I'm sure, of this. This is the Fumo Gray turtleneck. You could see it poking out here, that Daniel Craig wears in Spectre, and it's got a great weave to it, a great hand. Many of us have purchased this from NPeal because we love the feel, we have the look, it fits great. This, what I'm wearing right now, is a springtime long sleeve polo version of that. Hold on a second. In the same exact weave, same exact color, same exact hand. The feeling of this is ridiculous. This is, again, this is a real channel where I give my analysis and review. This is the softest thing I now own. And I own like Rex Rabbit stuff. Yeah, this is so soft, but I love look at the way this is contoured. And I know we're getting into details, but the way it fits my shoulders. And again, this is a size small. So you, just to kind of get an idea of the fitting, if you should order. It's got this nice banded bottom. I already told you that type of stuff is very flattering. It flatters the body really well. It doesn't go down too far, but you know, depending on your height, I'm gonna adjust mine a little bit. By the way, I paired it with a pair of simple Acme jeans, and with jeans, this looks great. I would do a contrast down here. Obviously, I wouldn't go stone or beige because I think it's just too like light. But no, this is perfect. Look at the details on this. I like to get up close because I want you to see this. And the collar, again, is that nice open Johnny collar that just lets you breathe. You know, okay, we've put away our turtlenecks. We've put away our stuff that comes up to our ears because we're freezing. Now it's beautiful weather out. And because of the way this feels, and maybe even because of the weave of this, it breathes so well. Please, people, I hope by now you realize that just because something is cashmere doesn't mean that it's relegated to just winter months or autumn months. No, you could actually wear cashmere all throughout the year. In fact, arguably, it sometimes breathes better than cotton. I know, crazy, but when I go hiking, for example, I wear wool socks. I do. It wicks away the moisture, keeps you a little less stinky. So this is something perfect. Could I see Bond wearing it? Remember, we have to talk about the criteria of whether this fits the bill for one of my favorites for the spring. Heck yeah. I mean, you could see Bond wearing this. I could see you wearing this, and you're a Bond fan, so this one does. But there is something else from, wait till you see this, from NPeal that they came out for the spring. All right, let me show you this. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the NPeal goat suede, I said goat suede, jacket. And it's sort of like a bomber jacket a little bit, but then it's got this wonderful cloth band. It, to me, and as you can see, all I did was I just changed it to a polo. That's it. I just changed it to a simple polo. But to me, this has kind of an old-timey sort of vintage style, not antiqued, because the lightness of this goat suede, and I mean the lightness of the color, really does freshen things up. Again, we're talking about some lighter colors going into the spring. By the way, look at the interior. That hemming, what is that called when they have these like little fuses? They're navy. I mean, who would ever see that detail? But sure enough, it's there. You've got unbelievable stuff. And by the way, product of unique Italian style and enduring quality, can be enjoyed for years. It has been made of the finest fabrics and selected accessories. It is designed and produced in Italy. So Italy. So here we go. I'm going to show you how this jacket looks. Oh, let me step away a little bit. Here we go. So you can see some of the details, but what you can't see or smell is the amazing, amazing goat suede. It is so soft. Let's take a look at the fit on here. You can see this is perfectly fit. Like, I can still move in this. And that is a part of this. I mean, I have to be able to function, be in a car, undo the bottom button so I could sit down. I've got to function in these type of things, but it still looks very stylish. It fits me perfectly. You could see, by the way, I'm not doing this to turn into like Freddy Krueger and attack you. This is just to show you how high the armholes are. And also the sleeves don't come riding up. They're perfectly formed. They break at just the right area, which is fantastic. But I love the color of this. Now, I could pair this with jeans. I could pair this with trousers. I could dress this up. I love the fact that there are adjuster tabs on this right here if I want to make it a little bit tighter, or if you buy this and you want to make it a little bit looser and keep it open. I'm keeping it open right now, so I've got a little bit of a swish, but look at the shoulder line here. Look at how flawless this suede is. It has a very, I'm just going to use it. This is going to sound a little Fleming-ish, but it has a very rich look to it. I could see wearing this with a variety of different things because it does have a richness to it, but the hand on this, the softness of this is pretty much everything. And I just love the style. I mean, this is something, look at this. I am just going to get an incredible amount of use of. And of course we could see Bond wearing something like this. It's not a stretch of the imagination. And you're like, wow, David, how unique, a navy polo. But this is unique. This piece, by the way, is from our friends at Olar Brown. And I'm so digging this for so many reasons. First of all, it is springtime, yes, but you are going to have those warmer days where you do need a polo. A long sleeve is just not going to fit the bill. And speaking of sleeve, I love the way these sleeves fit. They fit high on the bicep. That is a very Bond thing. I mean, Bond has worn a lot of different polos with this type of a cut. This is the Johnny Polo. The world's going Johnny Polo crazy, or Italian neckline crazy, but it's got that V-neck to it, no buttons necessary. But take a look, I'm getting up close so you can kind of see this, but take a look at the pattern here. It's like this honeycomb, this thatch weave that's going on right here, but then the sleeves go smooth. Then you've got the banded bottom, which I've told you like a million times that I love. I love the way this fits my back. And this is a size medium. Yeah, wouldn't go small. I usually go mediums in these tops from Olar Brown because they're a little bit more fitted, a little bit more Italian style to them, but they always look and feel great. And this one is no exception. It's the perfect, and by the way, obviously not just spring, but this could go right into summer as well. And last, but certainly not least, we have a polo from Sunspel, but not the one you think, not the Riviera. This is something I picked up when I was in the Sunspel store in New York City, and I touched it, and I'm like, you're going home with me, Polo. You're going home with me. Even though I've got 1,000,001 navy polos, not like this, because this, and I don't know if you could see, yeah, you could see the sheen a little bit with this. This is Sea Island cotton, but in a jersey combed cotton. This is softer. Sea Island cotton, regular Sea Island cotton has almost like a squeak to it. This doesn't. This has like a silkiness to it that is unbelievably soft. You can see this is a size small, by the way, and I'll do it so you can kind of see the silhouette. Fits perfectly, fits perfectly. I like that. Again, not like some of the other polos, it doesn't ride too high. It's a little bit more traditional. But this just says Bond. It's got the Fleming aspect of Sea Island cotton. It's got the James Bond because of Sunspel and the cut. And look at how this flatters I mean, this would flatter any body type. It's got a little room here for those barbecues and things like that that are just pending and coming up. But the softness to this, the Sunspel heritage, the workmanship, the craftsmanship, probably a better word, David, are just unapproachable. And that's part of what Sunspel does. Sunspel transcends. It basically says, I know you have a navy polo, but you don't have one like this. And they keep upping the ante year after year, but that's how polo is in the Sunspel world, which is amazing. All right, I hope this was fun, helpful, gives you maybe a range. You know, none of these that you saw today are seen in a Bond film. They're not costume accurate. They're not cosplay. They're not worn by Bond, but they are from the world of Bond brands that represent luxury, yes, represent heritage, of course, but they also represent quality, and chances are you're going to love them as much as me. Well, I got places to go, but now I've got things to wear in this wonderful spring weather that we're having right now. In the meantime, this has been David Zaritsky for the Bond Experience. We'll see you all real soon. Take care. Thanks for watching this episode. If you want to be up on the latest from the Bond Experience, just click on this subscribe and subscribe to our channel. You're going to get all the latest and greatest information, plus some exclusive content. And by the way, speaking of content, here's something especially for you, just because we know you. Talk to you soon.